Good afternoon, and welcome to this special edition of Spirit Speaks on National Affairs. I am Reverend Jim Webb, the Senior Minister of the Tacoma Metaphysical Chapel in Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm also the author of numerous books, including 30 P's for Prosperity, Prosperity from A to Z, Create Your Self-Manifesting Vision Board, and Forgive Your Way to Prosperity. These are all ebooks available on Amazon, and they all feed up to the master book, which is The Soul of Prosperity, which is a paperback, 256 pages, also available on Amazon.com. I do personal coaching, personal counseling, intuitive counseling, healing, and in inspirational speaking. But in addition to that, I channel. I channel a group of beings, the masters of planetary healing and transformation, and these beings have a sole purpose of helping us to grow, heal, and evolve so that we, as light workers, can help the universe and the planet to grow, heal, and evolve. Their perspective on things is different than ours, and so it is useful, especially at times like these, to get Spirit's perspective on everything that is happening. So we will offer guidance through the masters on what is going on. We'll offer their perspective. In addition to that, I'd also draw your attention to a new video I just posted on my YouTube space. My YouTube space is Rev Jim Webb. It's www.youtube.com/@RevJimWebb. I just posted a new video called Processing Through Pain. This video was channeled last night in my class, and this video gives guidance on how we can heal the unrest that has been triggered by this election. And it's a companion to what we will do today. So I suggest that you download that as well, for I think you will find it very useful. So for now, I'm going to go out, and Spirit is going to take over, and we're going to give you some insights. So when I go out, our producer, Michael Mangus, who is here, will support us
I
through the
thought you almost
process.
forgot about me.
I didn't forget about you. It was just a long patter so you could get that link together to put it in the comments
I
section.
did. It's in there.
Thank you. I said, I'm going to give him a long, long
So
patter
you were
so he'll have time to list that link.
stretching it out then.
I was stretching it out for you.
Just go. The link is in the chat in uh, YouTube. But if you want to again, just go to Rev Jim Webb's YouTube page. It's on there, and it's entitled again
Processing Through Pain.
Processing Through Pain. It's already there, and it's for you. So if you have questions, please. We do have a few from Jane Bat, but if you have a question that and if maybe the masters have a lot to say today. So, but if they are open, they will be receiving questions from us, and we will do them as efficiently as possible. So, thank you.
All right. With that, I'm going to go out and we will go forward. Greetings. It is our honor and pleasure to work with you at this time in this way. We understand that recent events on the earth plane have triggered a great deal of distress among many, and we would address that with information, perspective, and insights. But most importantly, we would address that with healing energy. So we would ask, first of all, that you take a moment to receive the light we would offer to you now. Just breathe. Just breathe and receive the healing, comforting light of grace. Just breathe. And feel the compassion of God touching those places within you that have felt betrayed, bereft, confused, anxious, angry, or doubtful. Just breathe. Good. And feel the healing balm of God's love flowing into all those places where your hurt has been exposed. Just breathe. Good. The love of God, the light of God, the healing grace of God touches you now in a deeper way than ever before. Give yourself permission to receive the light of God, the love of God, the grace of God, and the peace of God. Just breathe. Just breathe and feel the love of God healing your heart now. Just breathe. Good. And we would then address the concerns and questions you have about your recent elections in the United States. We would put this in the context of the purpose of the earth, your role in the earth's purpose, and the human journey on the earth. The purpose of the earth, first of all, is that it is a place of slowed vibration where souls or eternal beings can come to experience themselves or an aspect of themselves in what may seem to be a solid form in a drama or a play or a dream or an illusion. For you know that any stage play that you see, or any movie or television series that you see, is a drama, it is an illusion. So the souls come to earth to act out aspects of their consciousness that is in need of healing. So a portion of you comes to earth as an actor, acting out an aspect of consciousness that needs to heal. And collectively, beings on the earth have come together to act out aspects of human consciousness that need to heal, so that all of the aspects of the souls who are part of God can be so vibrationally realigned with God that any idea of separation is dissolved. So, beings of light who are particles of God, aspects of God, and expressions of God get confused. They start to believe they are separate from each other. They start to believe they are separate from God. Sibling rivalries ensue. Feelings of guilt and shame ensue. The belief that they are prodigal children ejected by God ensue. And so souls get tainted, if you will, by these mistaken ideas. These souls then come to earth in a body to act out these feelings so that they can see them reflected back to them on the stage of the earth in order to heal them. Now, you know that in a life review, a soul has an opportunity to look back on life and to see what misperceptions they acted out and how they can heal those misperceptions. So, and a soul comes to earth to act out these misperceptions in order to choose to heal them. Now, the key misperception that souls come to heal is the idea of separation. So, in order to act this out, bodies separate into tribes, and tribes struggle for supremacy, and tribes forget their unity, their oneness, and their basic purpose, which is to help each other to evolve and heal consciousness. And your elections were an embodiment of this tribalism, the liberals versus the conservatives, red states versus blue states, etc. And another aspect of what the soul comes to heal is not only the idea of separation, but the ego the false ego that believes itself to be separate, the part of you that is a body, that forgot that you were divine, that forgot that you were eternal. So the egos, collective egos, band together in tribes. And what occurred in your election is what occurs in your individual lives as well. There is a journey from the ego consciousness to the consciousness of oneness. And there is a struggle between your higher self, your master self, and your ego self. Your ego self believes it to be not enough. Your ego self believes it to be guilty. Your ego self believes that there is not enough, and so it must hoard resources. Your ego self fears pain and causes pain in order to avoid pain, such as the ego self that believes itself to be unlovable and therefore leaves or sabotages a love situation before they perceive their lover leaves them because they felt abandoned by love in the form of their inner child. You know certain of these scenarios. So you see egos acting out. And in the broader sense, what you have seen is as follows. You have seen a choice that humanity has made for now between the highest self, the consciousness of unity, the consciousness of oneness, the consciousness that chooses joy instead of pain, and the ego self. For you have seen a being that we have often called the angel of ego, who is the embodiment of the ego consciousness, the belief in, through insecurity, the belief, and through the belief that it is not enoughness, the overcompensating, the cruelty, the pain, for you have seen the pain this ego is in, and the distorted reality of this. You have seen this. This is an embodiment of the ego. So humanity had a choice to either choose the loving consciousness of unity, oneness, healing, and upliftment of all, or the consciousness of separation and ego, separation from each other, egos fighting for control, egos believing that their supremacy must be supported, other egos fearing that they would continue to be hurt by the ego's indominance, and the wrestling match of egos. Now, there was and is a very strong will to move into a higher level of consciousness where the consciousness of unity and joy instead of pain are chosen. But as you know from your own individual struggles with ego, this can at times be a back and forth. So what occurred in your elections is that, in a sense, at the last minute, unlike the intention of so many, the ego overruled the soul. The collective consciousness that has chosen to stay in ego separation just a while longer in order to more clearly experience the destructive nature of the ego, prevailed and was chosen instead of the higher self. So, like waves on a beach, so a wave of ego overtook the collective desire for unity and evolution and healing. And this collective desire created this collective ego that overtook the collective desire is shown to you in election results that bring disquiet to many. Now, we have referred already to a companion piece to this lesson that can guide you through healing and transforming your own disquiet about this. We would offer you a brief experience of this now so that you can then forge your plan ahead, and we will guide you on your plan ahead. So, first of all, open yourself in this moment to the idea, once again, I am open to the healing God has for me right now. I am open to the healing God has for me right now. I am open to the healing God has for me right now. And feel this healing energy coming through to heal and embrace the parts of you that are in disquiet, distress, disappointment, disturbance. Feel the light flowing to these parts of you. And breathe it in. And breathe. Now into this space, as you are comfortable, you may release your fears, specifically as you choose your fears about what this election portends. I fear that. And you can finish the sentence in any way you choose and allow these fears to give voice, to have voice. Allow the energy of these fears to come up in any form necessary for you in release, in emotional shifting and expression, in energetic, kinetic movement, in voice, in primal screaming if you choose. I am in fear of. And release these fears to the healing light and grace of God. And feel these fears being lifted from you and replaced with a deeper layer and level of the unconditional loving compassion of God. You are allowed to have your feelings. You are entitled to your feelings, for your feelings are the guideposts for your healing and your evolution. And that is why you are on the earth, to heal and evolve. Good. This is a brief microcosm of the work that you can do to heal. We would reference another tool that the channel and his sidekick mentioned prior to this session. That is very useful in this process. It is equally useful as you choose to work with practitioners to support you in this endeavor. However, this offers you guidance on what to do next for you. Heal the fears that come up within you. For others who are your brothers, we're voting their fears. And as you have compassion for the fears within you, you cultivate an energy of compassion for your brothers. For you understand that your brothers have been in the fear of ego. Your sisters have been in the fear of ego. Your spiritual siblings and your American siblings have been in fear, the fear of the ego. You understand the wrestling match between the higher self and the ego, for you have already learned compassion for yourself. You recall decisions that you made earlier in your life where your ego was operative more strongly. You felt a lack of love, so you made regrettable decisions in order to, in your eyes, earn or feel loved or lovable. So you understand the pull of the ego. And as you have learned to give compassion to yourselves, you can then also channel the compassion of God to your brothers and sisters in your country who expressed ego in their vote. This is the path forward. And in addition to this, it is important for you to understand that your creative energy has never been more powerful or effective. And each time you work and process in that way, you build your capacity for even more of your creative energy. And so your task is to choose to use your creative energy, as we have already taught you, to envision the world that you desire instead of the world you fear. Focus your powerful, sacred creative energy on constructing the world that you desire. Waste not your powerful creative energy on focusing on what happened or who is to blame or those people who must be insane. For you understand that the ego is insane. You understand that there have been times and incidents in your life where you have made regrettable decisions based on the misinformation of the ego, where you have believed yourself to be unlovable and placed yourself in situations that have been regrettable in order to earn love from outside of yourself. So you understand and you have compassion for yourself and you have compassion for your American siblings of light and light. And you go forward constructing and holding the vision and holding the space and holding the energy for the world that you desire. And you continually release your fears, and this place within you, go within you to the light and not outside of you where you see evidence of darkness. Go within to the light. Shun the outside evidence of darkness, for it is important for you to know that the light has already prevailed, even though the opposite may appear in front of you. So take a moment to breathe this in in these series of preparations, we have prepared you for creating the world you choose to see, a world of peace and harmony. Continue to hold this vision. Do not be swayed what you see outside of you, for that world has nothing to offer you but more pain. The world of light you cultivate within offers you access to joy, regardless of what is happening in your outer world. It offers you access to an energy of light, protection, provision, and peace, regardless of what is happening in the outer world. So you feel safe. So you feel invulnerable, for you are tapping into that part of you that actually is invulnerable. For when you shine with light, the darkness cannot hurt you. Breathe this in. And this is the way forward. So we would open this session to any questions you might have at this time, focusing on the questions most aligned with our discussion first, and then additional questions as time permits.
Thank you, Masters. And this is, I thank you for acknowledging me as Reverend Jim's sidekick. And we have a question from Reverend Jane Bound. She says, can unexpected good come out of this, such as mass compassion and creative solutions?
Yes, we would address this. We have modeled for you this afternoon individual compassion, compassion for your ego self and regrettable choices made in the past. And as you have compassion for those aspects of yourself that you have judged, that compassion that moves more deeply into the core of your being is then projected out onto the world and to your brothers and sisters. So you will find that as you experience more inner compassion for yourself, you share more compassion with your brothers and sisters. And this is what you might call the silver lining in the cloud of what for many is disappointing election news. Now, as we have stated in other forums, there are already other solutions being explored that will change the whole paradigm of the earth and shift the earth more clearly from a consciousness of scarcity and enmity and opposition to a consciousness of oneness and peace. New technological breakthroughs, new breakthroughs in energy that make energy costs a negligible portion of the world economic model, thus freeing up more energy, capital, and money, as you call it, for the good, thus healing the economic anxiety of the ego that has caused certain humans to revert to a tribalism in the ego's insanity to survive when it fears that it is being annihilated. So yes, there will be many benefits from this, despite how woeful it may seem to you in this moment. And this is how we would answer this question.
Thank you, Masters. We have another question here from Facebook user, and they say, how do we move forward with creating the world we want to see and not be crippled by the pain that we are experiencing?
We would address this. You first release the pain to the light of God in ways that we have modeled briefly in this experience and ways that we have referred to that have been created for you for this purpose. By releasing the pain, you no longer project the pain. By healing the pain, you no longer have the capacity to support the outer experiences of the pain. So you release the pain first so that it is not a part of your creative template. And once you release this pain so that it is not a part of your creative template, you have a more clean slate energetically upon which you can project your desires, your wishes, your hopes, your dreams, not polluted by the pain of the past. Do you understand this? It is cleanse first and then project from this clean, energetically clean, healed, or enlightened perspective, project your heart's desires. Cleanse that within your heart that is in pain, and then that pain has no power to reproduce. And then only the light of your highest self can reproduce its light in the form of your good. This is manifesting from mastery, which we are teaching you now. Good. This is how we would answer this question. Is there perhaps another question?
Yes, Masters, we do have a question here. I think from Reverend Jane Bat. She says, how can women empower themselves at this stage or time?
We would work with this. We are working with others to, specifically, we are working with a being who has channeled and introduced many goddesses. We are working with this being to produce an experience. This being will title it differently, but the essence of the experience we are suggesting to this being is healing the consciousness of women. And we would suggest this circle, this healing circle, where the goddess energies of the earth are all quite present in strong energetic presence to heal the consciousness of women, using scenarios such as the young woman who has been trained to hate herself for her body and to compare herself to others, developing self-hatred, and to subject herself to pain, suffering, abuse due to feelings of inferiority and feelings of powerlessness, healing these aspects of female consciousness with the assistance of a great deal of goddess energy on the earth. These healing sessions can be instrumental in creating a new pattern of deeper soul empowerment for women. This is not just the outpicturings of this empowerment in the form of political, economic, and professional advancements, but advancements in the collective soul of beings who incarnate as women, so that take a moment to breathe. And as we do this, women's collective souls can be healed. And this is the answer we would offer to you now. We have released an energy in the channel that makes room for more light. So take a moment right now to receive this light. Good. Is there perhaps another question?
Yes, Masters, we have one from Facebook user, and they write, can I live a different experience other than what the collective has chosen concerning Project 2025? And it says she relies upon, or they rely upon, Social Security and Medicare.
Yes, we would work with this. The key for you is to look to God as your source. And as you look to God as your source, past all of the noise around this project and its potential to damage you and so many Americans, you look past the noise directly to God and continually commune with the good of God, continually commune with the light of God, continually commune with the energetic frequency of God's benevolence and God's provision. And as you do so, you strengthen your direct connection with God as the source, empowering and allowing God to serve you through infinite sources, infinite channels to bring to you your good. And this is what you can do energetically to experience a different personal experience than what is envisioned in Project 2025. The esoteric actually becomes practical in this way. And this is a practical application of the energy of light to a human challenge. And this is what we would say to you.
Thank you again, Masters. And we do have another question on Project 2025 from My Blue Sunlight. And the writer says that my biggest concern has been Project 2025. So much harm would come to so many from this being passed. Is there anything that we can do to stop this?
We would work with this. We see that as the new administration, as the likelihood or the probability of a new administration taking over begins to take form, we see great chaos, great disarray, ineptitude that stalls many of the more what you would call devastating aspects of this from their implementation. And those that are implemented will be so noxious that there will be a great backlash. So we do not see the consequences of this to be as dire as you. In the meantime, affirm your good with God. Continue nurturing your strong connection with God. As you do so, this connection causes you to feel worthy of the benefits and blessings of God. And this sense of worthiness is projected out into the world so that your fellow citizens begin to feel worthy of good instead of draconian, idealistic upheavals. And open right now to a light that comes through from a new level of being. Good. Is there perhaps another question?
Yes, Masters. We do have another question. And question is, can Gaza receive miracles of healing grace in some form?
We would work with this. We are seeing several hellscapes on your earth plane. Gaza, portions of Lebanon, portions of the West Bank, portions of the Ukraine. And as we see these hellscapes, we would put this response in the context of the larger lesson of Earth. These hellscapes will be viewed by all of humanity on some level, so that humanity can see the grave, destructive nature of the ego and be given yet another and another and another opportunity to choose the consciousness of unity and light instead of the consciousness of separation and its destructive division. So these hellscapes paint a picture for humanity that implores humanity to choose a different consciousness. And that is their purpose in the larger scheme of things. And the souls, the eternal beings that decided to inhabit human bodies and be a part of this drama, these souls, these souls are receiving light and grace. And the earth is likely to turn to humanitarian aid in all these areas eventually. And this is what we would say.
Thank you, Masters. That is all the time that we have for questions. Do you have final words for us?
Yes. Heal yourselves of the pain this experience has triggered. And that contributes to the healing of the world. Focus on yourself and your fears that come up, create and allow openings for the therapeutic release of these fears, that the energies might be transformed so that you become even stronger vessels of light. And this is how you can help yourself and your country and your planet navigate through this next wave of growth and healing. It may seem as if your earth has taken a step back, but it has actually taken a step deeper into the healing that the earth intends. Have hope that as you work with yourself, you work with the world, and know that the light has already prevailed, even in the form of the darkness that comes up for additional healing. And with that, be blessed and in God forever, and receive a final healing and share it with the earth. How's everyone?
Would you like to go get a drink of water?
I think I'll be good for another 3 minutes.
Another 3 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Thank you for the very comforting words this afternoon. Again, a special broadcast of Spirit Speak. Any other final words here, Reverend Jim?
Yeah. We're being called to a higher plane. I felt like in this session, there actually was a differing level of energy introduced to the earth. And that, I feel, will continue to be the case. We're being called to a higher plane of mastery. That's why they've been teaching through me how we can stay on that higher plane of mastery. Now, my classes on mastery are sold out, but what is available are the recordings of these classes, where you can receive all the recordings of these classes as they happen, and you can use them as if you are in the class at your own time and at your own pace. And that is called the audit option. That's still available. So you can check that out on my website. And here's a brief mention of what these classes are. The Monday class is Spirit Speaks on personal mastery, how you can heal self-doubt, self-rejection, self-judgment, and move into self-mastery, where you know yourself only as your highest self, and you operate with that vibration of being your highest self. And then on Thursdays, we use that perspective of our highest selves to manifest our good. As you know, that which is impossible for man is possible with God, for with God all things are possible. So when you get into your highest self, your master self, you can create without the distortions, the blockages, the limits of the human self, because those things don't exist on the level of your highest self. So on Thursday nights, we're doing manifesting for mastery, how to get into the state of mastery on Monday nights, and on Thursday nights, how to use this state of mastery to easily, effortlessly, and quickly manifest your desires. So the recordings of these classes are available to you, and you will find them very useful. And we will be doing ongoing classes, especially starting the new year. That will be relevant and useful for everyone. So that's what I want to share. Okay.
Okay, hold on here. There you go. As we do the magic in the background. All right.
Yeah.
Well, really good. Well, again, thank you so very much. We have great programming. If you are familiar with Jim's channels, again, we have great programming on the New Thought Media Network. If you need some good news this evening, I mean,
Yes.
some good news.
Yes. What's happening at 8 o'clock?
Can I get an amen? No, good news at
You can get an amen for 8 o'clock. It's at 7?
At 7 o'clock is, and now the good news.
Oh, okay.
And then at 8 o'clock, then.
At 8 o'clock.
It is time again for another fun-filled throwback. And yes, always exciting edition of the Friday evening fireside chat with yours truly. So that's coming up. So
yes,
on behalf of myself and Reverend Jim Webb, we're going to wish you a very pleasant good night. And we will see you, all of you, this coming Sunday at 8 o'clock for Jim's show, The Miracle of Prosperity. Good night.
Good night.